What do we got? 12:32. That guy says 15 degrees in here. It's about 20, I'd say. Over 20. Okay. So let's go outside. Just minus 11. So it's cold. Minus 11, you know, that's no joke. Woo, there we go. So here I am out here. Minus 11, but it's like I said, it's 15 to over 20 degrees in the tent. Really depends where you are in the tent. You know, close to the stove, away from the stove, on the floor, off the floor. So yeah, minus 11. I guess it's getting to minus 13, minus 14 tonight because it's just after midnight. And the coldest I find is it's from 4 a.m. to about 7 a.m. Like around that time, it gets real cold. So I'm in for a doozy. But minus 11. One more and I've tied my record. So let's go inside and warm up. See how that fire's going. So what we got going on in here. Look at that. 2 toasty logs. What I find is I get them in this X pattern and the air just comes right straight through, right? And hits the center there. And as these guys break down and burn, you know, their butt ends, like close to the front of the stove here, those butt ends, you can see they barely burn. I'll push them forward into the pile, which adds more embers in there, and then just toss 2 more X's on there and boom. But time to get back to Voyager, stay warm and chill in the good way. Hey, good day. It's a nice one here. It's always so tough getting out of bed because it's cold, and you know you're gonna be cold for a good like 5 to 10 minutes while you're building a fire. And you just have to sort of, you know, grit your teeth through it. It's not terrible. I mean, you get used to it a little bit more and more as you do it. But what I've noticed being out here, off grid, you know, trying to build a cabin, but I've got this tent and this tent pad for now, and I'm out here in the cold or the hot, whatever, all that sort of stuff. What I've noticed is you really have to, or this environment puts you on an edge to perform. So taking this morning, waking up and it's cold and you got to start a fire, like, you have to make that happen. Otherwise, there are consequences. If you don't get a fire going, you're going to get colder and colder and colder. And if you don't do anything, I mean, that ultimately could lead to hypothermia, falling asleep, dying, right? This happens to people out in the cold. And, I mean, I wouldn't let it happen to that. I would have to then say, okay, well, you know, I have gasoline. I have gasoline in a jerry can in my truck. Yeah, theoretically, I could just take the wood and just toss it in the fire pit there and just douse it with gasoline and strike a match. That's one. 2, I suppose I could do the same thing in here, but like just soak a single piece, like just soak a single piece like this, maybe 2, and put them in there, and then put pieces on top, and then, you know, give her. So those are options. I got my truck as well too. I could just go in there and start the engine and just turn the heat on and wait. That's another one. And yeah, so that's what I've been noticing. Or, you know, having to fix this. When I came here, the snow on the roof actually took the I would say like the chimney cap. It took the chimney cap and probably like a 1.5 foot section of pipe. It just boom fell off because the snow just came and it just sort of ripped it off. And I was thinking, I'm like, shit, did it rip at the elbow, like in the middle of the elbow where pipes aren't supposed to come apart? I said, damn it, if that's what happened, then I'm gonna have to use. I bought aluminum tape, high temperature aluminum tape. I would never use it in this part, but at the end of the line, by the chimney cap where the temperature is less than 450, it'll be okay there. That's what I've noticed is when you're out here, you're on edge, and sorry, you have to bring the best of yourself out, and you have to perform. Otherwise, there's consequences. And in daily life, like, you know, doing a rat race or the past career life that I had sitting at a desk, that corporate office life, there's no consequences like that. There are consequences, but it's, oh, if I don't get this out by a certain time, this report out by end of day, then, you know, people are going to be delayed, and my manager is going to be like, what happened? And, you know, you'll get a slight talking to, and, oh, come talk to us if you're going to be late, or this is unacceptable, we can't have this. There's that, right? But that's, you know, that happens every now and then. But the average day in the office, there's no consequences like that, and you just don't. You don't feel alive, and you're not tapping your potential. You're not living to the level that you could be living at or experiencing. You know, like, how good are you when it comes to the chips are on the line, or, you know, your back's up against a wall? What happens? Do you crumple, or do you rise up? Like, what happens? And you don't know what happens until you're in that situation. It's nice having this guy, though. Because it's cold out there. Not super cold. It's like -6 or something like that, or -5. But it's snowy, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. And this is my home. And I've made it a home. And yeah, it's nice to have this stove here. Is that Big 101? What station is that? I also get station from Peterborough, The Wolf. I also get a station from Halliburton, Canoe FM, and I get another one from Huntsville. Moose FM from Huntsville. So Canoe, Moose, Wolf. These are the country radio stations out here, man. It's great. That's another thing too. Is people who just live their life in one area, one city. For me, it was the Toronto area, and pretty much everyone I know, that's their story too. Same area, whole life. But once you move, like, you gotta discover new things, like radio stations, completely different, and they're broadcasted by people that live in the area. And since the area is different than where you were from, what you hear on the station is different. Big 101, hooking me up with some Christmas beats. Oh yeah. Nothing like a hot drink. When you start to make a home and you spend more time in an area and you start to have love for it, the dark lonely stretches don't seem so dark lonely anymore. I'm fascinated with how dark this place gets and how sparse it is, like how isolating it can be, but at the same time not too bad. Like, I went to my truck last night at night to get some food, and I just shut off all the lights and I just stood on my road looking. And I'm just standing there in the middle of the road, dark, and it's probably like 7 o'clock and just before 7, and it's just powerful. it's just about towards the end of the day, end of my time here. I'm about to head back to the city. Just packing up the tent, packing up the truck, getting things tidy. I gotta dump these glasses off in the shed. Let's go do that. So I've got this to do. I've got to screw it down. I got my screws there to use. So I'll just like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then again on this end, 2 more there, and then probably where the studs are, I'd put more screws. I've got a piece of wood just running right across, so I could screw here, 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 like anywhere. And then at this seam here, along the seam, I've got another 2x4. So I'm gonna do you know, 1, 2, probably like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, can't there. So that's all I gotta do is I gotta fasten these down. I'll do that next week, and then I'm gonna get another one of these guys and put it right across the back there. So let's just take one of these shelves, which is to replace the ones that mouse shit all over. So I'll have something like that, but right across. And you know what? I'll wrap it around here too, so just so nothing falls off. And then, you know, start building some shelves and stuff like that. Maybe a nice poster there, but start getting some shelves. So I've got some more wood to buy, not a lot more, but yeah, I could have gone down and fastened this and just, you know, ripped these, no problem. Very easy, but I figured, you know, I'll just wait till I get the other pieces of wood and just do it all together. I think I'll like that much better. And yeah, there's a generator. So the shed's becoming like a bit of a workshop, which is awesome. I think my pit bike can fit under there. And yeah, this is so cool. I got a lot of organizing and stuff to do, but it's gonna happen. So let's bring the door holder in. Good old hockey stick. Put it down right there. Okay, all right, let's get to the truck. And let's close this up. Oh, thread the needle, boom. Okay. Okay, let's go.